what you are aiming at.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're describing yourself as a very loving person.
Yes.
Very committed, very loving. At the same time, you've told me that 3 women have left you because they were afraid of you. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, afraid of me, perhaps afraid of me loving them so much.
Well, but afraid of you.
Yeah.
And you've mentioned that when you get angry, you can become physically violent. You broke Saskia's finger. So how do you put together you're making people afraid, you're becoming angry and hitting them, and at the same time describing yourself exclusively as a very loving person?
Maybe that's true. I'm also I can also be very frustrated when people don't accept it, don't accept my love, or are afraid for the way I perhaps I'm not so much a loving person. Apparently I'm not, because I wouldn't be alone now.
Mm-hmm. So perhaps there are things about yourself that you may not be aware of. Is that?
I'm sure there must be, because people tell me all the time that there are things that I don't see.
This brings to my mind your reaction about this woman therapist who you said was biased against you. Why would she be biased against you?
That was the first feeling I had when I met her, and she hadn't done anything, but the way she looked at me, I thought, the way she looked at me, without words, she was already criticizing me. That was just a feeling.
You felt the same about the other therapist, or not?
I trusted him more.
But then at the end, it sounds as if both therapists were together.
Yes.
So he wasn't really to be trusted either.
Yes.
Is that a fair statement?
It's a fair statement, yes.
Now, in the middle of this, Saskia appears as the innocent victim of the bias against you of both therapists at the end. Yeah. And could it be that you're trying to see the therapists as the bad guys who separated her from you, because it's hard for you to accept that perhaps Saskia was much more resentful of you than you were aware of, and that perhaps Saskia had been quite resentful for quite some period of time because you were telling her what she was thinking, perhaps influencing her and reducing her own social life. You mentioned to me that she said she didn't have enough space or was afraid there might be not enough space. So could it be that Saskia was quite resentful because of your controlling attitudes, and that she really wanted to leave you, and that you couldn't tolerate that, and therefore saw her as the kind of victim of the conspiracy of these 2 therapists?
perhaps that could be possible. But I'm still thinking, hoping. I can't understand why she would do that to me after 4 years.
You can?
You only do that to a person that you hate, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I can imagine that Saskia hated me. I don't believe that.
Well, she could have loved you on the one hand, but have then become increasingly angry, resentful and frightened.
Yeah. But what bothers me is that now, as it is, I don't have a chance to make it up, to make a new start with her, or that she didn't give me the chance to show that I could change, perhaps.
I have a sense that you really had difficulty listening to what I was saying, namely that it may have been Saskia who was fed up with you and wanted to leave, and not acting under the bias of those two therapists. And that you are trying to preserve an image of her as only loving you, rather than seeing her also very angry and disappointed and frightened, and seeing her as the victim of these two bad guys who hated you.
I understand what you are saying.
But how are you reacting to it?
It's hard for me to see that as a possibility, as a real possibility.
And in this connection, could it be that perhaps you're afraid that I, in saying what I'm saying, am really taking the side of those two therapists, and that again you are in the presence of a therapist who might be biased against you?
Because when you are saying that I have a feeling you are accusing me. That I did it all wrong. It was all my fault, and it was very right of Saskia for leaving me.
So you are saying that really I've reached the conclusion that you treated her badly and that she should have left you.
That's what I hear.
Uh-huh. Is that what I've said?